Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Miguel back again with another video, and today I have an exciting one. I have the Apple Watch Ultra here in my hands, which I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing. And before I do any of that, I actually want to talk who this watch is actually meant for. But before that, even before that, let me just talk about the name. Now, this is the Apple Watch Ultra. And before we actually knew about this watch, before it was announced, we thought that it was going to be called the Apple Watch Pro because obviously Apple has a habit of calling most of their elite lineup or their best of the best devices Pro. The MacBook Pro, the iPhone 14 Pro, the iPad Pro. And even with the Apple Watch, we thought that this was going to be named the Apple Watch Pro. Before we even knew the name, we were calling it the Apple Watch Rugged Edition, which is obviously not a name that Apple was ever going to pick. But now I want to talk who this watch is actually meant for. Now, when this watch came out, we immediately, all of us became pro athletes because obviously, why not? This watch is meant for that specific group of people. Now, someone like you and me, we can actually do pretty good with a regular smartwatch. For the most masses, we have something like, let's say, the Apple Watch SE, which is for people who want to stay inside a budget, but also want a good smartwatch. For people that want to go above that level, we have the regular Apple Watch, like the Apple Watch Series 7, Apple Watch Series 8, which is already a pretty good Apple Watch, and it's also really good for people that like to work out a lot, gym psychopaths, everyday people. But then we have the Ultra, which is obviously overkill, but it's made for specific people, kept in mind that the regular Apple Watch was not really able to do. And this is targeted for mostly those people because of the specific features, designs that it comes with. Talking about the price, the Apple Watch Ultra costs 3,200 dirhams. Now, when you hear that a watch is going to cost you 3,200 dirhams, almost double of what you pay for the regular Series 7 or Series 8, it's obviously a lot of money. But then if you think about it, something like the Apple Watch Series 7 or 8, the stainless steel edition is also going to cost you around the same. So this watch, if you opt for the 45 millimeter with the stainless steel band, with the stainless steel body, this is going to cost you around 3,000 dirhams. So it's only 200 dirhams less than the Apple Watch Ultra. So in that case, it kind of makes it worth it if you're already in the market for something like this. Now we're gonna go ahead and unbox this thing. We have the plastic wrapper. Let me just get rid of that in a little bit. We have here the titanium case with the Midnight Ocean Band, and this comes in a one size 49 millimeter size. So no, there's no options for different sizes. Unlike the other watches, we had a 41 millimeter, then we had a 45 millimeter. This is at 49 millimeters, and it only comes in one size. And the box, speaking about the box, this box is also very different from what we usually see. We normally have a long, thinner box, but this time we have a different box in hand. Okay, and immediately you have you have the waves here in front of you, which tell you that obviously this is meant for pro athletes, divers, that sort of people. We have the booklet here, first of all, which is obviously made of premium quality. So and it's mostly it's kind of like an invitation this time. So you have your paperwork over here. Again, it looks like a wedding invitation that I just received. We have the band here, and we opted for the Ocean Band, which comes in this. I think it's made of silicone, and it also is kind of like a dark blue color. We're gonna open that in a little bit. We have now the actual watch here itself, and let's go ahead and open this. Okay. Okay, and designed by California, and then it also has the longitude and latitude, which again shows you that this watch is actually a rugged edition watch, or kind of meant for people who like to go on hiking. That's a really nice touch. This is the actual charger or the charging cable. It does not come with a charger in the box, but it does come with a cable. And this time the cable is we have a USB-C cable with the same type of charger, magnetic charger that we get. But there's one big difference here, and that is that this time the cable is actually braided instead of that regular plastic or silicone material that we have. So it's obviously going to be more rugged as well. So they're not only making the watch a little bit more durable, the charging cable is also more durable here. Now we have the actual watch in hand, and okay, that is heavy. And even though it's made of titanium, which is meant to be light, but it is, I mean, this is just without the band, is actually pretty heavy. I mean, this with the band is not as heavy as I think this one. So we have the watch with us here in hand. And talking about the design obviously is much different than last time. I want to say it's a complete redesign, but yes, I mean, you can tell it's an Apple Watch, but we have a few features here and there that distinguish it. We have the bigger crown this time, and this crown, the reason why it's bigger is obviously because it's meant to be used even if you have gloves on. We have sapphire crystal here on the front, and the back is also made of ceramic this time. And the body is titanium. This is only one build, so you don't have the option of aluminum or stainless steel. It's a titanium body, and this is the only material that you can actually get it in. Now, I want to talk about the size first of all, because obviously that's the most prominent thing. And I've heard a lot of people saying that this is a really huge watch. Now, yes, it is. I mean, on paper, it's really not. It's 45 millimeters against 49 millimeters, so it's just a 4 millimeter difference. I mean, looking at both of them over here, you do obviously see a difference, but it's not really something so huge that it's going to be ridiculous. It doesn't look ridiculous. I think for the most part, it's more thicker than it is bigger. So obviously, because you have this this protruding display here, and then you have the rugged ceramic back this time. So you have you obviously have a thicker Apple Watch this time. Now, if you look at them here, both on the camera, you can kind of see the difference between both of them. I'm going to try and take off the band here. So now that we have both of them in their original states, you can see how much bigger of a difference or how much thicker it is here. Weight-wise, again, yeah, it is a little bit heavy. Even if it's for a titanium body, it is slightly heavier. But the thing is, talking about heavy and big watches, the reality is that a lot of people are already used to wearing really heavy watches. For example, if you're not wearing a smartwatch, you're probably wearing another watch, which are most likely always, made of steel, stainless steel. And we have the facility of actually having a lightweight band with the Apple Watches. So we have a silicone band, or we have this lightweight stainless steel mesh band, which is not really too heavy. But regular watches, for example, let me give you an example of a diesel watch. Diesel watches are usually pretty big and pretty heavy. So compared to that, this is not really, something out of the box. It's not something that's going to blow your mind and something that you're not going to be able to wear every day. This is, I think, perfectly wearable for everyday use. I'm going to test it a little bit, and I'll show you, and I'll tell you guys how I actually feel about it. I used to wear pretty heavy watches in my past, so the Apple Watch really feels lightweight in front of the type of watches that I was wearing before. Looking at the design here, we also have this action button, which is a specific button which can be customized for a few things, which I will discuss in a little bit. We also have a bigger speaker this time, which obviously is used for better sound, and this also comes with a specific siren, an 86 decibel siren, which can be used if you're lost in the woods or if you're looking for emergency services. You can actually use it, and it's pretty loud. I've heard that you can actually hear it from about a quarter of a mile away, which is a really long distance. I'm going to test that in a little bit after I set this up, and I'll show you guys how loud it is. One more thing that I want to mention was that the color. Now, this comes in just one color. I kind of wish that Apple introduced a couple of options for the colors. For example, maybe a space gray or a darker, blacker color would be really nice to see. But then I also get why they only chose one specific color. This color may actually do a good job at hiding scratches and dents as compared to a black color. But nevertheless, it is a great color. I really don't have any complaints here. All right, so while we wait for the Apple Watch to pair, we're gonna go ahead and just quickly do an unboxing of the bands, and we'll talk a little bit about the bands because I want to actually see if I can use this band for the Watch 7 on the current one. So let's go ahead and unbox the Ocean band. We have Ocean band, which has a titanium buckle and an adjustable loop. I didn't know it had a titanium buckle, but that's good to know. This is the titanium buckle. We have the actual band over here. Okay, that's a little bit difficult to take out. All right. Ooh, that's nice. It's a little bit of a flexible material, kind of like these silicone bands. Yeah, so we have this this kind of stretchable design, and this is the ocean band, which obviously is going to be used or specific to be used while diving. Obviously, you don't have to. It's obviously a personal preference at the end of the day. But we have the ocean band here, which I prefer mostly because I like a solid band as compared to something like a cloth or Velcro, which is the orange band that you know we had out there. But we have to loop this into here, and we have to adjust the size. I think that's how it works. Okay, let me try and, okay, let me take off my Peasant Series 2 watch and let me wear the Apple Watch Ultra. Okay, this barely fits on the first loop because obviously I have thick boy wrists. But yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. Well, let me do the actual thing. Okay, it's a little bit difficult to take off. Never mind. But yeah. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. I think that looks, you know, yeah, that looks decent. I don't think it's too big, and now wearing it, it also doesn't feel too heavy as it was as I was saying before. I mean, it does have a titanium body, so that is supposed to contribute to the lightweightness of it. But yeah, it's a pretty good size for me. I think it's pretty easy to use. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Now let's go ahead and put on the stainless steel because I'm curious to see if that actually fits in here. So this is the stainless steel band from Apple Watch Series 7 that I have on the other hand. Okay, but it doesn't look good at all because, I mean, obviously, but I just wanted to see. But yeah, if you have your current 7 series 45mm bands, this can actually fit with the Series Ultra. Yeah, there we go. The only thing is that I don't know how you're gonna make this look classy. I think that's the maximum classiness level that you can go with. So if you're going to a very formal meeting or a fancy dinner, I don't know if that's gonna suit it. But yeah, it does fit. So if you're wondering whether your old bands will fit, yeah, they fit perfectly fine. But there is a little bit of a gap. I do see a slight gap. All right, now that we have the watch set up, we're gonna now talk a little bit about the features that this has. I already paired it with my app here. And one of the things that I saw immediately was that you can actually go ahead and you have a specific option for the action buttons, and you have around 8 different options where you can actually choose from workout to stopwatch, waypoint, backtrack, dive, torch, or you can just put none if you don't want any of the options here. So that's really nice to see. So right now it's currently set to workout because like I'm never gonna work out, but but even said, so you see that immediately I clicked on workout, and then it starts giving you different options for workout, like indoor cycling, indoor running, which I've obviously never done before, and you know, different workouts. And you can also customize it. So for example, if you want to go diving, you set it up for dive, you're going to click it one time, and now it's going to start your diving experience, and it's going to go ahead. And it's not going to detect it right now. So as soon as I'm in the water, that's when it's going to start detecting it. And it's going to start telling me the depth and all different features, different things that are related to depth. Here up front, we have the Wayfinder watch face, which I think is going to be the most popular one. It actually comes with an active compass, and you can actually even you know, toggle it to infrared if you are in the dark or underwater. This actually is a pretty unique feature, and it looks really, really nice in that all red you know, option here. Then you have different watch faces which you can customize. Let's go through some of the watch faces. So you have the regular new watch faces: Wayfinder, Metropolitan, Lunar, Playtime, Astronomy. You have your regular activity, the Artist. This is the new one. You have your astronomical faces. You have the Breathe, California, Chronograph, Chronograph Pro, Colors, the Contour, which was really famous for the Series 7, the Count Up, Explorer, which again is also used for hiking and other things. GMT, which gives you that Rolex vibe. If you're not able to afford a Rolex, you can always go for the GMT option. And then you have the infographics, which was something that we saw with the previous Apple Watches, but now with more detail in the Ultra. Then you have the Lunar, which is also a new addition. You have the Meridian, Metropolitan, you got your Mickey and Minnie Mouse, you got Modular, modular duo, different options for modular. And also you have the Nike edition, which I'm glad to see that you don't have to actually buy the Nike edition watch to actually have these, so it's nice to see. Then you have all sorts of different watch faces, the previous ones that you were able to see with the regular Apple Watches as well. And talking about one of the action features here, you now have the better GPS. So if you want to use, for example, waypoint or backtrap, the Apple Watch Ultra now has a better GPS performance and tracking. So if you're lost, you can actually go ahead and use this to find where you're going or backtrack to know exactly where you came from in case you're lost. Apart from that, the features are pretty much the same. You have the crown. If you click on it once, it's going to take you back to your main folder. You can go ahead and toggle in between different folders that you opened up. If you click on it for longer, you can go ahead and toggle the emergency or SOS features, and the siren is something that I'm actually going to test out. I'm going to see how loud it is. So we're going to go ahead and for the siren. Yeah, pretty loud. It's up to 86 decibels if you're wondering how loud it is, and that's I think pretty useful if you're outdoors and you are lost. You can actually use it, and I haven't tested it myself, but according to different reviews, it has been heard from around a quarter of a mile, which is quite far, I would say, and I think it's good enough for those emergency cases. If you are lost, you can obviously use that and take advantage of the siren. Talking about other features, this is obviously now not only swim proof, actually dive proof, and it has a resistance or better performing waterproofing, so you can now dive it up to 100 meters. Previously, I think it was 30 meters or something. Now you have the ability to go down to 100 meters, which is really, really deep. I think that's around 300 feet or something. More than that, you also have the display here this time is up to 2,000 nits of brightness. So the regular Apple Watch, the Watch 7 was, I think, a maximum 1,000 nits. This is actually 2,000 nits of brightness, which is double, literally double of what you had previously. So if you're outdoors in the sun, this should perform pretty good in there as well. Now, battery life is another big feature that we saw with the Apple Watch. Obviously, because it is thicker, you do have the bigger battery, and this is now supposed to give you 2 full days and 2 full nights of battery. So up to 36 hours on a regular use, and it can actually go to 60 hours. 60 hours, and that's 5 days. 60 hours if you actually have it on power saving mode, which is really crazy if you consider it. But one other point that I want to make here is that it's not too crazy for the watches that we've had for the previous 100 years or so, which is the regular watches that we've been wearing on our wrists, like a Casio, or for example a Seiko, or whatever watch that you've been using for the past, before smartwatches were introduced. So if you compare to that, it's not really a long time because those watches can go for months or even years, and some even have options like solar charging, where they have an infinite amount of energy that you can go by without actually having to charge them. So if you compare that to this, then yeah, it's not really a lot. But again, this is not really a comparison to the regular watches. This is a smartwatch. It has so much more than just a regular watch, which can only tell time. This tells time and has 100 more features. Now, coming to a conclusion, whether you should upgrade to the Apple Watch Series Ultra. Well, obviously, as soon as this came out, all of us became pro athletes and we immediately needed one. But the thing is that if you're in the market looking for a stainless steel option, so if you were already going to go ahead and had made up your mind to buy this one, I would say spend the 200 dirhams more and just buy the Ultra, because it has so much more features and it's so much more better almost in every single way. It's obviously overkill. I mean, this already does a pretty good job, but this then does it 10 times better. 200 dirhams more, 3,200 dirhams total price for the Apple Watch Ultra. There are no other versions. or variants. So this is the only one that you can buy, 3,200 dirhams. I don't think it's really bad at all. Yes, it is almost double the price of the regular Apple Watch Series 8, which comes at around 1,700 dirhams if you go for the 45 millimeter, and 1,500 if you go for the 41 millimeter. But yeah, nevertheless, I think it is totally worth it. It is the flagship of the flagship, top of the line, a pinnacle of Apple Watches right now. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Please consider subscribing and liking, and let me know if you would consider buying the Apple Watch Ultra. If you enjoyed, please give it a like, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.